Right now on Denver 7 News at 6 a.m., a second shot at success.
We are here for the children, we're standing for them, and we will continue doing so.
The state gives the struggling Adams 14 school district one more chance to turn things around.
It is a big relief for families and educators. I'm Denver 7's Veronica Acosta. The terms the district must follow as it creates its own improvement plan.
Plus, new drama for Dougco schools. Its former superintendent files a discrimination complaint.
I want what's right. I think when things are violated, it needs to be improved.
For the first time since his firing, Corey Wise sits down one-on-one with Denver 7.
And a Colorado Easter tradition returns.
I think there's a real yearning to come together and be in a beautiful setting.
Sunrise services are back to normal. And the sunrise at Red Rocks is just about one of the most beautiful things I think I've ever seen in this state. We'll look at all the celebrations happening this weekend. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. I'm Nicole Brady.
And I'm Jessica Crawford. The weather looking pretty nice to start out our Friday. Meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo now with the first look at the forecast.
I'm always glad when there's big events that the weather cooperates, right? This weekend is going to be perfect. Easter Sunday looks great. We'll have that forecast on your Super 7 Day coming up. Pretty shot from Lyman this morning from our Viero camera out east, just to give you an idea of that sunrise. It is going to be a really pretty one here. We do have, at this point, temperatures in the upper 30s to even upper 40s, depending on the neighborhood. So it's really mild. We'll be at about 50 by 9 o'clock, close to 60 by lunch, and then we're hitting highs right around 65 this afternoon. It is warmer. The winds, unfortunately, are going to pick up again. We're going to see wind gusts at around 35 miles per hour. So not quite as windy as yesterday, but it got howling pretty good yesterday afternoon. Boulder today, a high of 63. Highlands Ranch, 67. Platteville, 66. I feel like I had a bit of an accent there, Jason. Oh, yeah. Those winds were howling yesterday.
Oh, they sure were.
We'll talk about the red flag warnings and the fire danger coming up.
Especially out there by Last Chance. We have a pretty good drive overall through the Denver Tech Center, as you can see from Air Tracker 7. Take a look at I-25. Here's Bellevue right down in here, the Ray Bullock Park over there, and you can see a good drive either in the north or southbound side with the intersection of 225 right there. Take a look at the overall map, and it looks pretty good. We did have a crash over here on northbound E470 at I-70. All lanes are open as they had one person hurt in a single car crash over there, taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The rest of the drive, as you can see, looks just fine anywhere you want to go, north, south, east, or west. Take a look at the west. Up here on I-70, up near the Eisenhower-Johnson Tunnel, still some wet conditions, maybe some slop at the highest elevations, but for the most part, I-70 looks pretty decent going up into and from the high country.
After years of poor performance, the State Board of Education is giving the Adams 14 school district one more chance to make improvements. It has less than a month to come up with a management plan. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta joins us live. And Veronica, the district will have to partner with an outside company.
It will, and here's the other piece of good news. The Colorado State Board of Education, they won't be closing down Adams City High School, and they're going to be giving the district a second chance, like you just said. But of course, there are some conditions with this. One of those conditions being the district comes up with this so-called improvement plan, and it has the help of an outside firm to come up with that plan. So this new improvement plan has to be submitted by Adams 14 before the next meeting. That next meeting scheduled for May 11th. If the board doesn't accept that plan, then that could mean the district gets fully taken over by an outside management firm. Now, despite that, district officials say they're up for what's next. They're ready for that challenge, and they're ready to start creating that improvement plan. Parents we spoke with said they were relieved the high school wasn't closed and the district was being given that second chance. Of course, this is all for the sake of those kids who go there.
I'm thinking as a parent, where's my son going to go? I have a junior and a sophomore. My whole dream is planning their graduation. My whole dream is planning the rest of their future.
And that is not all. The district will also have to give quarterly updates on how that improvement plan is working for students who are part of the Adams 14 school district. We're in Denver this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Veronica, thank you. Former Douglas County Superintendent Corey Wise is speaking publicly for the first time since he was fired. Wise is now filing a discrimination complaint against the district. In February, the board's majority voted to fire Wise without cause in a 4-3 vote before the end of his contract. They say they voted him out simply because they wanted to take the district in a different direction. However, Wise claims it was because of his advocacy for protected groups like LGBT students and students of color.
I think the four have put themselves and the school district and the community in a tough situation, and their actions I'm disappointed in. You have dreams and you've accomplished some of those dreams, but you want to give a chance to see what we can continue to do. And when that's taken away, you're upside down. For the first time, you don't have a job. It's taken us backwards in trust, and I worry about the future.
We reached out to the school district for a response to the complaint. It had no comment. Cherry Creek Schools has hired Wise to be an interim superintendent.
Today, the group tasked with monitoring the Aurora Police Department will finalize its community committee and its duties. IntegraSure has already created a website to help you follow the progress with the consent decree. It's auroramonitor.org. The group is holding its first public town hall on Tuesday to talk about the path forward. That's at 7:30 p.m. at the Aurora Municipal Center, or you can also sign up to watch virtually.
A Wheat Ridge police officer is out of the hospital. Officer Alan Fisher received a well-deserved round of applause from fellow officers and hospital staff as he was wheeled out. Fisher was stabbed multiple times Wednesday morning while responding to a call about a suspicious U-Haul at an RV park. The man accused of attacking him has been charged with attempted murder. Fisher's recovery will take some time, but the department says he's in good spirits.
That's good to see. Passover begins at sundown. The 8-day Jewish holiday commemorates the Israelites' liberation from slavery in Egypt. Many will gather for a Seder dinner tonight to remember the story of freedom from thousands of years ago. We spoke to the JCC Denver about the observance and how it applies today.
It's not just about telling the story that happened, but it's also about applying it to your own life and the things around you in your own world, and thinking about how fortunate you are in wherever you're coming from, with the liberations and the freedoms that you have, and to think about those that are still impacted by things that keep them from reaching their full potential.
And you can get more information about all kinds of events coming up at the JCC by visiting jccdenver.org. Easter is also this Sunday, and sunrise services are back all across Colorado.
This is the first time in years many of those services will be held in person instead of virtually. Denver 7's Colette Bordelon joins us live from Red Rocks this morning. Colette, this is the 75th year for the service.
It's a tradition here in Colorado, and being out at Red Rocks this morning, you can see why. This view and the sunrise, you just can't beat it. And for the first time in 2 years, everyone's invited back here on Easter Sunday to celebrate in person. Now, this is video from the Colorado Council of Churches showing what these services look like when the rows of Red Rocks are packed with thousands of people. Like you guys were saying, 75th year of these services at this historic amphitheater. They've been hosted here since Red Rocks first opened in 1947. Now, this year the sun is coming up right before 6:30. It's something those behind this tradition are thrilled to see together in person once again.
Because of the pandemic, we had to be virtual the last 2 years. So I think there's a real yearning to come together and be in a beautiful setting. The weather looks good, the forecast looks good. And so, yeah, we're really excited to do this in person.
If you're looking for a place to celebrate Easter this Sunday, you have some choices of stunning outdoor settings, all having sunrise services. The music here at Red Rocks will start at 5:30 in the morning. Make sure you dress warmly. It is a bit chilly out even this morning. Try to get here early to get your spot. You can also watch those services online. The Royal Gorge services start at 6:30, just minutes after the sunrise. Those gates open at 5:30. You can walk across the bridge or take the free shuttle. And once again, be ready for a chilly morning. Maybe bring some lawn chairs or blankets with you too. Idrahaji off of Highway 285 in Bailey will be hosting a sunrise service at 6:15 at its Mountain Village Outdoor Chapel. Now, since there is a hike you'll have to do from the parking area, it's a good idea to get there by 6 at least. Rides are available for those who need it. And Lisa, look at this view right now. It's nice. It's not really that cold out this morning. The birds are chirping. I'm actually kind of sure you might be a little bit jealous of my assignment this morning.
I was until the winds kicked up there. Now I'm not that jealous. Yeah, it is going to be calmer. It looks like early Sunday morning. Some really pretty weather. Yeah, a lot of people out at Red Rocks to watch the sunset before maybe a concert. This is a totally different experience and one you shouldn't miss. Beautiful. Early that morning on Sunday, we're going to be in the 30s, upper 30s, near 40. It will be calmer in the morning, near 50 by 8 o'clock, 65 for a high by Easter Sunday afternoon. It will get a little breezy. We'll take a closer look at the winds this next few days coming up in just a couple of minutes.
And the drive right right now around town looks just fine. Getting busier in some of those usual spots, but nothing major going on. This is the south side of town. This is I-25 from basically Ridgegate right past Surrey Ridge. This is the Surrey Ridge area going to Castle Pines Parkway here. So that's the northbound side of I-25 coming out of Castle Rock. No problems for us down here to the south side. We'll take a look at the north side of town and some of those drive times in just a minute.
Well, typically employers will run a background check on you before they offer you the job, but we're finding more businesses are now doing checks on their current workers. Plus,
I'm John Matarese. You order a food delivery to your home and the food never shows up because it turns out the restaurant was closed. A caution before ordering food online. Coming up.